Hello, everybody. Patrick Nugent, IICLEtv. Always a tremendous pleasure to have my great friend Lou Cohn here with me today. And we're talking about a course that's coming up in November here in Chicago and also down in Springfield on negotiation called Negotiate Now, Intensive Skills and Practice. Lou is a guru of teaching negotiation, amongst many other things, I might add. And Lou and I can talk a little bit about that course, how it's different, why you should be there in your law practice, what you need to know about negotiation. So tell me, Lou, what is different about this course?
Well, first of all, thank you for the kind words. Thank you for inviting me here to talk about this program. What's different about this course from other really good negotiation programs that have been put on by IICLE and others is this is a program in which the attendees will be participating from the word go and will be learning by doing. The books, and by the way, there are 14,000 hits on Amazon for books on negotiation. I mean, those are just the publications. They're all great. Some of them not so great, but they teach you a lot. But the difference is when the folks come to this program, they're going to be negotiating. And they'll be negotiating after they've planned for their negotiation. And they'll be planning under the supervision of either myself or my associate David Barish, with whom I've done this program before in other places. So it's going to be truly interactive. There's no question about that. And the more that the attendees participate, the more they'll come home with.
So I guess what you're really saying to our audience out there is you come to this course, you better plan on being active, you better plan on being involved, you better plan on being engaged.
That's true. There's no point in hiding it, because not only will they learn a lot more, they'll certainly have a lot more fun, it'll be more interesting and enjoyable, and I think that they'll walk away with an experience that might be new to them in the terms of continuing legal education, but I truly believe that it'll be worthwhile.
You know, I'm looking out there and I hear so many different things. We've got all of this complex environment going on in the business world, et cetera, et cetera. I think now more than ever, we are seeing aspects of negotiation come about in daily life, not just in the business life, that people are having to address, and they really need to hone their skills to do this.
Well, as humans, we're negotiating every day. We have been negotiating since the day we were born crying for milk. I mean, feed me and I'll shut up.
I always do.
Anyway, the reality is that in our daily lives, and by the way, this program will give you access to information and skills that are clearly useful and usable outside the field of law. They'll be useful in talking about getting maybe a raise, talking about relating to your significant other, about who does the dishes and who picks the movie. Doesn't make any difference. This is going to be material that as you master it, which you'll have a great chance to do, you'll find that it's going to be with you all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot. I've had the pleasure of being with you when we teach our acting course, Stand and Deliver, and I think that the great takeaway of these participation type events is you take way more than just what you need in your daily business. You can apply it to your real life. You can apply it to what's going on, as we talked about, in other environments.
Yeah.
So this looks like it's going to be just a really fabulous course. Now, it's also my understanding that this is a limited course. We're keeping the numbers purposely low and capping the numbers on this.
We have to do that because, as I said, the planning and the negotiations per se, and there'll be two of them, one a transactional negotiation and one as a result of a lawsuit, litigation case. We plan and supervise and listen to the negotiations as they take place. So they get the individual attention of the two instructors, myself and Mr. Barish, and then they get the feedback as we walk through the negotiations, which they'll be able to use in the second negotiation and all those that come after. So we have to keep it down. We really are limited to 50 folks here.
Okay.
And that's not just a marketing or an advertising. We want to give the personal attention that every attendee deserves, and they'll get it by the fact that we are keeping the class limited in size.
That's great. Now, just for our audience out there, a lot of times when I put things up on the IICLE television, I really kind of like to give out a couple of nuggets of knowledge that they don't have to pay for, they don't have to sign up for, they don't have to buy our advertising or come to our course. The reality is I want to give them something that says this you can take home with. So you, as I mentioned, are my guru of negotiation, amongst other things. Can you give us, out of your top 10, one key element in negotiation that you find is mandatory out of, let's call it Lou's top 10 tips for negotiation?
Well, that's funny. You must have looked at the agenda. No, that's an easy one. And in fact, I can harken back to your comment about stand and deliver. We talk about practice, rehearsal, repetition. That's turned into what we call planning. But to go into a negotiation without planning, it's inviting disaster. But the planning itself requires the ability to gather information. And so for my one tip today, I'm going all the way back to acquiring information by learning to listen. A very difficult task. We as lawyers, we ask 3 questions and we've had that case before, so we don't have to ask anymore. We stop listening. Or when the client tells us, well, blah, 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 blah happened, oh, that's it, I know that case, so I don't have to. But that's not the way it should be. So we stress the refinement of listening skills, of taking advantage of the information that comes to you from your client, and most importantly, the information that comes to you from the other person across the table with whom you're negotiating. It is amazing that with a little thought and with a little listening refinement, you're going to pick up great nuggets that will be useful to you in implementing your own planning. And the other thing that goes with the listening is that we're going to talk about learning to differentiate between facts and assumptions so that we don't jump off on the wrong course because we just assume what we heard was a fact when closer analysis would tell us we're just assuming that.
So in other words, I get 3 great nuggets. I get the planning,
yes,
which is fantastic. I get the listening, which is imperative. And I get the knowing your facts and knowing your stuff, which of course is a mandate in anything you're going to do. This is Negotiating Now. These are intensive skills for your practice, and we're going to be teaching them with the distinguished Mr. Louis Cohn, I believe on November 9th here in Chicago.
That's true.
And I believe down in Springfield, Illinois, we'll be doing it on November the 17th.
Also true.
That being said, there should be a link to it from this onto our website. We hope you're all going to be there. Don't miss Mr. Barish and Mr. Cohn once again for Negotiate Now, intensive skills for your practice. We'll see you in November. I'm Patrick Nugent from IICLEtv.
Patrick, I would just want to add, and you can do this ad, we'd like to see you all there, but we can't fit all of you into this program. So we want to make sure that the first 50 of you get registered.
First come, first serve.
Absolutely.
See you out there in November, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you.